has been turned upside down. Amazon changed retail. Uber changed transportation. YouTube changed video forever. With the invention of crypto, money is next. At the speed technology is growing, the future of money and securities are digital. 9 out of 10 millennials do not trust banks. The value of money relies on trust. Government debt is higher than it's ever been before. Central banks continue to print money. Fortunately, the world has a new solution. Experts predict in 7 years, 10% of the world's economy will be in crypto-based assets. Today, 1 billion people have access to the financial industry. Crypto is about empowering the other 6 billion people by banking the unbanked. Do not underestimate this. Do you wish you invested in Google, Amazon, or Netflix before anyone ever knew about them? $1,000 invested in Netflix turned to over $500,000. At Token Metrics, we help you find the next Netflix. Token Metrics users think differently about investing. They are early adopters looking for financial freedom. They are people who see a better world. A world without international borders. We believe in a world where everyone has access to the next financial revolution. At Token Metrics, we are creating a bridge that gets you to that revolution. We will help you make sound investments in this new world. The world's best investors do not rely on their intuition. They embrace technology and AI to invest. Token Metrics uses AI to find invisible patterns in data to help you invest and trade in crypto. In the past, we have used our data-driven system to achieve financial freedom. Now, we are giving you the keys. We created Token Metrics to be the only platform you'll ever need to make money in crypto. We give you AI and access to crypto experts at the best price. The moon is not the limit. To the moon and beyond.
Disclaimer. Token Metrics Media LLC does not provide individually tailored investment advice and does not take a subscriber's or anyone's personal circumstance into consideration when discussing investments, nor is it registered as an investment advisor or broker-dealer in any jurisdiction. Information contained herein is not an offer or solicitation to buy, hold, or sell any security. The Token Metrics team has advised and invested in many blockchain companies. A complete list of their advisory roles and current holdings can be viewed here at tokenmetrics.com/disclosures.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Ian Bellina, and we have a fellow Ian back on stage, back on the show again. Ian Friend, COO of Ferrum Network. How are you, Ian? How's it going?
I'm doing great, Ian. Thanks once again for having me.
Yeah, it's been what, over a year and a half now, right? Especially during COVID. Last time I saw you was in New York, right? I'm actually, no, was it Lagos? New York, I think, right? I forget.
we hung out a couple times in the bear market. We met in Lagos, where I pitched Ferrum one of your conferences, right? And we won that pitch. And then again, we hung out in New York, I think a couple times later, or a couple months later for Consensus. But it's great to see you as always.
Likewise. All right, so we have quite the show for you. So we'll be, or rather Ferrum Network will be giving away Ferrum tokens. I believe 1,500. How much is it?
Yeah, $1,500 worth of Ferrum tokens will be given to people who've asked the best questions.
Yeah, so whatever questions you have,
if you're trying to make some money, this is your show, right? So definitely pay attention, and let's hop straight into it, right? So this is the 100x show, where we find people doing amazing things in the blockchain space, crypto space, and go deep into what they're doing and learn more about the project, the technology, but also the people behind the project, right? So with that being said, Ian, tell people about yourself. How'd you get into crypto?
So prior to crypto, I was actually an attorney practicing law in New York City. A friend of mine introduced me to crypto in early 2017. Obviously, I heard about Bitcoin, but didn't really get in until early 2017 as an investor. And quickly fell in love with the technology, the ethos behind crypto, and decided to co-found the blockchain practice team of the firm I was at. This ultimately led to an opportunity where I met my co-founder Naeem at a networking event here in New York, and we teamed up. A few months later, we won a competition to pitch the project at Consensus, which is the biggest blockchain conference really in the world. And this was in May 2018. So, I mean, it's been almost basically 3 years of Ferrum, nonstop Ferrum, just grinding away, growing it from 1 million market cap to where it is today. And I'm really proud of that journey, but there's a lot more coming.
Congrats, because I know Ferrum was one of the highest rated projects in our quant grade on our site, I think for most of Q1, and you guys have been on a tear, right? Obviously, this is not financial advice or your own research, but I mean, our quantitative models for anybody who was looking into the project, I mean, because yeah, as you mentioned, right now your market cap is 80 million, so you guys have definitely had lots of traction. Now, let's go a step back. So how'd you find your founder? Because you mentioned you met him at a networking event. Was this a blockchain event? Can you kind of go into details of that? Because meeting somebody is kind of like speed dating in a way, right? So what made you want to say, you know what, I'm going to work on this project with this person I just met?
Yeah, it's actually an incredible story. Some might call it luck, others might call it fate. But I was at the time leading this blockchain practice team as a lawyer and looking for clients. So I was going to different networking events in New York and sourcing clients, whatever, me and them growing the practice. And there was an event one night in Lower East Side. This was in like March 2018, or maybe even earlier, maybe February. And he just happened to sit next to me. And we hit it off. We got to chatting. He told me he had built the capability, a technology which had the capability of exchanging and transacting Bitcoin and Ethereum in milliseconds for near zero fees. And so he basically had described that he had solved the problems of interoperability and the problems of scalability in one network, essentially. And this obviously piqued my interest. I mean, and he told me he's, was working at Bloomberg, senior engineer, leading all these devs. He's clearly like a genius, right? And so we kept in touch. And a few weeks later, he submitted and won the competition at Consensus. And so he asked me to come on as a co-founder. Literally the night before the conference happened, he was like, "I don't have a co-founder. Do you want to be it?" I was like, "Sure." And we just dove right in, man. And it's been like I said, 3 years since then.
Now, had you worked in a startup before that? Was that your first?
No, no. I was sort of conservative, suit and tie kind of guy.
Yeah, a lawyer. Right?
Not really a risk taker. But I've sort of come to realize that, you know what? No, that wasn't me. This is me now as an entrepreneur. Someone who likes to be at the forefront of emerging technology. Someone who likes to help projects grow and build. And that's one reason why I think we've been successful in this bull market.
Yeah, so one question I have for you, right? As somebody who just entered, well, not just entered, but who was going through the first startup experience, and you basically came in during a bear market. Right. So how did you, as somebody who came from a conservative suit and tie world as a lawyer, how did you weather the storm through a crypto bear market?
Oh man, it was tough. Didn't spend a lot of money for those 2 years. Life wasn't too happy. But no, look, I mean, you take the opportunities that are given to you. We were fortunate to get seed investment right sort of at the very end of that bull market, like right when like the last investments went out, and there was basically a freeze for like 6 months after that. We got like, I think it was 60 ETH So Naeem and I had to basically survive because we had quit our jobs. We were both making a lot of money. We quit our jobs. Yeah. We did survive on like 60 ETH or so, or maybe it was 120 ETH. Not a lot of money. But we just grinded it out. And we focused on building things that we knew would bring long-term value, actually generate revenue, and turn us into a real business. So that even if the bull market never came back, thank God it did, but even if it didn't, we knew that we could survive. And with that mentality, we've been able to launch 4 or maybe 5 products, all of which generate tremendous income for us. We're profitable. We're a profitable company by a wide margin now. So that mentality has really served us going forward.
That's great. So can you kind of speak to that? How'd you, because it's very rare in crypto for a company with a token to come up with a business model that does not include the token, right? So how'd you guys manage that and kind of speak to the business model behind Ferrum Network?
Yeah, so to be clear, we always look for opportunities to imbue the token with value, imbue it with utility. So there's actually 7 or 8 utilities for the Ferrum token. One of the most powerful is if you hold a certain amount of it, you get invited to these pre-sales of projects that we incubate, many of which have done 100x, 60x, 70x. We've launched like 7 or 8 of these. So there is very valuable utility within the Ferrum token. But even if the Ferrum token didn't do well, because look, the bull market's not going to last forever. We have a staking as a service business that does incredibly well for us, providing our staking technology on a white label basis to other projects. There's 70 or 80 clients on that. We sign up like 2 a week still, even now.
Wow.
We have the exchange business in Africa, which you probably remember from back in the day. That still does well for us and is empowering people in that region. We're very proud of that business. We have, of course, the incubator, which we generate income from, from advisory fees, essentially, right? And now the next product that we have coming from a white label standpoint is our token bridge, which we're about to launch. It's going to allow any project to swap tokens between Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. It's available as a white label. Teams can just basically pay to have it, sit it on their website, provides them utility, allows them to be dual chain. So everything that we build from a tech standpoint, we've figured out a way to monetize. And that's how we've managed to survive the bear.
Yeah, I mean, so for people who maybe don't really know what's going on here, I just want to give them perspective, right? So looking at the all-time low of, obviously not financial advice, right? But all-time low of what, 0.002 cents? And October 25, 2019, over 1 year ago, Ferrum Network is up 255x, basically, over 200x. Right. I mean, so when I say you guys really weathered the storm, I mean, you bounced back.
Thank you. Yeah, those are some dark days. I mean, that was we just launched, our ICO, I think in August 2019, and that was still the bear market. People got to remember, there wasn't a lot of buyers there from a retail standpoint, right? It's not like today where it's like everyone's aping into stuff. It was the opposite. Everyone was like, take it, profits quickly, like I'm too risk averse, whatever. So unfortunately, we had a bad market maker at the time, and the price just sort of went down. But market turned around. We found products, product market fit. We found token utilities that really resonated. The incubator has done tremendously well, and we've gone, like you said, 200. And that doesn't even include the FRMx token, which is our derivative governance token, which actually has done 800x from its low, from a low of 20 where we launched it at, to an all-time high of $16,000. So don't sleep on FRMx either.
So I mean, because you guys are doing so many different things. For somebody who's maybe new to crypto or even outside of crypto, how would you explain Ferrum Network to them?
To someone outside of crypto, I would say we are Ferrum is building the picks and the shovels in the gold rush. Right? We build the technology that enables other projects to be successful in this market. So whether that's the staking as a service technology, whether it is the token bridge, which we're launching as a white label product soon, whether it's the incubator, where we leverage our experience and connections and skills on behalf of other projects, we launch them, and we put them on a path towards success. So I'd like to say we are we're sort of a blockchain as a service company. I mean, we have our official tagline, DeFi ecosystem that removes barriers to mass adoption. But really, it's a blockchain as a service ecosystem at this point, right? And it just keeps growing, adding more products, more services. The team is growing tremendously. There's now like 25 or maybe even 30 people on the Ferrum team. Started, we initially had 3.
Yeah, I mean, because I recall first time I met you in New York, it was you, Naeem, and Jermaine, I believe.
Well, Jermaine was our advisor, but Dom was our first hire. He's our CMO, and we brought him on in December 2018, right before the Lagos event that we did together. And it's been a hell of a journey, and we're still growing. Like there's massive products coming in the pipeline. We have a secret product that's not on the roadmap that's about to launch in the next probably month or so. That's going to add huge value.
What product is that?
And then the incubator is growing tremendously too. I think projects have realized that we add tremendous value, not just from a marketing and awareness and fundraising standpoint, but from the standpoint of solving problems, identifying the project's needs, and helping to solve them with personnel, with resources, et cetera. So it's been an awesome journey, but we're still pushing away, working 18-hour days even now.
All right, awesome. I love it. All right, so I think let's start asking some questions. So once again, we'll be giving away, or rather Ferrum Network has been kind enough to give away $1,500 worth of Ferrum tokens, right, to the best questions. So if you want to get paid, begin asking the best questions. So let's go through and ask some questions. So let's take a look here. We had one of the question here first. Give me 1 second. Okay, so here's a question from Mr. Fain. Can you please explain how the Unifier wallet is connected to social apps like Twitter or Telegram? You stated that people could transfer crypto from one another using these apps.
Yeah, that's an awesome question. So one of the unique value propositions of the Unifier wallet, see, Ferrum, remember, has like 5 products. Unifier wallet is one of them. It's our mobile non-custodial wallet, similar to like a trust wallet, but with unique DeFi features that we think we're missing in the market. One of which, and the one that that I love the most because I use it almost every day, is something we call link drops. This is essentially the ability to send crypto anywhere, not just on Twitter, not just on Telegram, but of course those places, but email, Facebook, WhatsApp, WeChat, anywhere using a link. So the recipient you don't need to know the recipient's address. The recipient doesn't even have to have a wallet in advance. So this is something that really, what we say, breaks down the barriers to mass adoption, because now I can send crypto to someone who doesn't even know what a MetaMask or what a wallet or blockchain address is, confused by these things. I can send them $10,000 worth of Ferrum just like that using a link. So it's just one of the examples of the many technologies that we have that we think are furthering our mission and the industry's goal of mass adoption.
Okay, I mean, so now I'm kind of getting the picture. So you basically, as you mentioned, you're building an ecosystem. So it doesn't matter what is really popular in crypto, whatever technology people would like to use, whether an exchange, wallet, what have you, you guys would build it and make it part of your ecosystem in a way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one of our strengths, I think, has been to identify trends in the market and needs in the market, and build technology to service those needs and to sort of bring value to those trends. So whether that's the Unifier wallet, or whether that's one of our most recent products now, which is getting a lot of traction and excitement, is something called our anti-bot system, which I definitely want to dive into because it's super awesome.
Yeah, go ahead if you like.
Yeah. So this technology is designed to solve the problem of bots, or those using basically unfair technological advantages to snipe Uniswap listings. And for those that don't know what those terms mean, but when a project launches its token on Uniswap, there's a few split seconds there when the token price is very, very low. And during those few milliseconds, there are people with bots, basically tech that no one else has, no average person has, that allows them to buy a bunch of tokens at the lowest possible price. But they're not community members. They're not, there to hold and join the community, and they're looking to dump. So what they do is they buy like 200 ETH worth of tokens, price pumps, community FOMOs in after them, and the bot dumps on everybody else. Oftentimes these bots can, make millions of dollars within 5 or 10 minutes, and that's it. They dumped on the community. They're on to the next. Community's left essentially holding the bag, and it's a huge problem. So we've built technology that identifies who are these bots, and then we're able to blacklist their address, meaning they cannot ever sell or transfer the tokens that they bought. So they buy the tokens, but they can't dump on everybody else. So it's kind of a it's very powerful tech. A lot of projects use it. We've launched it, we've done it like 7 or 8 times. We continue to do it for more projects that want it. All our incubated projects.
Wait, so when you say you blacklist them, that's on your network, like your exchange, how do you blacklist them?
So without giving away too many secrets of the technology, you can't, if there's bot owners watching, you don't want them finding out exactly how it's done. But through the token smart contract, there's ways to essentially freeze tokens in people's wallets, just held on their MetaMask on the Ethereum blockchain. They can't ever sell, and they can't ever transfer those tokens. Now, look, it's not to everybody. It's just for say there's 4 or 5 bot owners that came in. They bought a bunch of tokens. They were going to dump on everybody. They're frozen. They can't sell or transfer, but everyone else can freely move their tokens just like normal.
All right, interesting. Okay, next question from Soifrey. Why is the company called Ferrum Network?
Oh, that's a good one. Harkens back to our early days. So one of the core technologies that Ferrum is building is our own blockchain, our own network, right? Just like Ethereum or Cardano or what have you. We're building the Ferrum network, which is an interoperability protocol at its core, which means that it doesn't just work with the Ferrum token. It actually allows you to transfer this blockchain allows you to transfer assets that originate from any blockchain. So BNB, Cardano, Tron, XRP. There's all these different blockchains in crypto. Our chain is going to connect all of them essentially together and allow you to do swaps, et cetera, over just one single chain, but any asset. So instead of you imagine Uniswap, right? You can only do swaps with Ethereum-based tokens there. Imagine there was a Uniswap that you could swap any BNB, Bitcoin. Now, keep in mind, these are proxy, these are wrapped assets, derivative assets, to be clear. But still, it's technology that has not, the market has not seen before, and is super valuable. Anyway, why do we call it Ferrum? Well, Ferrum means iron in Latin. And iron has this unique property that sort of, with enough time, other elements will fuse towards iron and become iron, I believe. And so similarly, Ferrum, we sort of bring these other assets together under the one Ferrum network roof, so to speak. And so that's the reason why the name Ferrum Network.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's find the next question here. Once again, the best questions will be earning Ferrum tokens. The team's giving away up to $1,500 worth of tokens. Okay.
I see a good one.
Okay, which one?
Marcinos 1. It's sort of at the bottom. It says, what makes Ferrum Incubator better than the others?
All right, there you go.
Yeah. I get asked this question a lot because clients come to us and are basically trying to ascertain whether they should, retain us for an incubation. Look, we've gotten the opportunity to work with a lot of incubators. And I think there's a tendency right now in this bull market to want to rush things out, raise money, generate the hype, do the launch, get them on a launch pad, on to the next. To us, that doesn't really bring long-term value to our investors. Keep in mind, Ferrum holders get the opportunity to invest in the projects that we incubate. So we have an obligation to them to not only select excellent projects with great fundamentals, working products, great team, and so on, but we have an obligation to try to make sure that that token performs well over time. And we also have an obligation to our clients, our incubated clients, to do more than just the obvious low-hanging fruit type stuff. So what we do is we like to identify challenges and problems that the teams may have, and that could be related to anything from a lack of personnel. A lot of projects come to us, they don't have enough people on the team to do social media stuff or marketing, content creation. Some don't even have blockchain devs. And we like to fill those gaps. We have a full team of like 25 people in multiple divisions, in fact, and we bring all of our collective resources essentially to bear on behalf of that project. We also have technology that no other incubator has: staking, anti-bot technology, token bridge, etc. But I think, like, fundamentally at its core, it's our hands-on approach and our belief that we need to make sure this project succeeds in the long term. It's our obligation, it's our duty, and we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that happens.
All right, that's great. That's great. Any other questions you want to pick out while you're doing the comments?
Someone asked, well, I think I'm not sure I fully understand this question, but it's a good one anyway. How many tokens do you need to be a part of the early investor group that I mentioned at the beginning? That's
who's that?
G Mara. See G Mara there?
I'm trying to pull that up here. Is that towards the end? Because so many questions now.
Oh, you and I might be seeing different things. Anyway.
Okay, so here's one from PLJ. What happens if Ferrum freezes a random wallet of someone who's not actually running a bot? And can this tech be used for malfeasant purposes, such as ransom?
It's a great question. Wow. We obviously field this question all the time, right? So the question is essentially, how do we ensure that this technology is used for good, is only freezing bot owner addresses and not regular people? There's a couple ways, right? For one, we have a team of seasoned blockchain devs who are skilled at identifying which one of these addresses are in fact bots. And there's tried and true methods. If you're a Solidity developer, you know how to read Etherscan. There are obvious indicators that any dev could tell you, oh yeah, that's a bot. So we try to only focus on the clear and obvious cases, and that we look at things like speed of the transaction. Did they buy exactly at the moment liquidity was added? Well, if so, no person going on Uniswap, even if you crank the gas, could have done that. It's just not humanly possible. So that would be one. Size of the transaction. Did they buy a ton of tokens? Right? Like 200 ETH worth. And then the third thing is, and by the way, that's got to be combined with the having done it real fast. It's not just if you buy a ton of tokens, you're a bot. It's if you bought a ton of tokens and you were the first person, you're a lot more likely to bot. The other thing is, bot owners often use the same addresses to snipe listings over and over and over. So you can say, oh, they sniped over there, same address, here, obvious. So we only focus on the clear and obvious cases. If for some reason we make a mistake, we have the ability, or actually I should say the team, this technology is, yes, it's Ferrum built it, but we provide it to the team. So they're the ones who have actual, it's their tech, right? It's their token. But if we make a mistake, someone can come to us and say, hey, look, like you swept me up. I'm a real person. Look, here's my address. Our team will look into it. And if it was in fact a regular person or it was a gray area, sometimes there's been gray areas. It's like, yeah, it's probably a bot, but let's not go there. You just whitelist their address and you release the tokens. It's no problem. So yeah, mistakes get made, but it's almost always rectified within like 24 hours.
All right, awesome. So I did find the question you asked earlier. So Gamar is saying, how many tokens do you need to have to be part of the early investor group?
Yes.
That's the incubator, I believe, right?
That's the incubator. Yeah. So we have an incubator called Ferrum Advisory Services. We find top quality early stage projects. We help basically get to the point where they're ready to launch, And we provide the Ferrum community opportunity to invest in the pre-sale, in the private sale rounds, the early stage rounds, sometimes even the seed rounds of these projects. And the way to get in is simple. You hold a certain amount of Ferrum tokens in your Unifier wallet. The minimum amount one must hold to get a guaranteed allocation is 50,000 Ferrum. However, we've introduced a lottery system where all you need to hold is 1,000 Ferrum. And a little secret, not really a secret, but maybe something not super well known, the last two launches, or two projects that we raised for, Rocket Vault and now Network, 100% of the lottery tier has won an allocation. So we're pretty generous with the allocations, to be honest. I know 50,000 sounds like a lot of Ferrum, but for those who, looking for an opportunity, by the way, it's a guaranteed allocation. It's not first come, first serve. It's not like a lot of these launch pads where, only like barely anybody gets in because there's so many people and no one gets in, whatever. It's guaranteed. You have 36 hours to fill out forms and send in your contribution. It's very sort of stress-free. And, the allocations are often big enough that we can provide access to people, even those who are holding only 1,000 Ferrum tokens. But normally it'd be 50,000. But yeah, so that's what I think makes our incubator special as well, is like it's very stress-free, not come first serve. It's guaranteed. Almost everybody who wants to get in can get in. And that's how we think it should be in Ferrum and in crypto in general.
All right, awesome. Now, so will that model scale as you get bigger and bigger, right? Where everybody's guaranteed in the launchpad? Because it seems like the allocations will shrink, right?
Yeah, it's a challenge we've run into for sure. Also because the more Ferrum you hold, the bigger allocation you get. And so there's people at the top that hold like 750,000 or more Ferrum who get very big allocations, right? Because that's only fair. They've invested a tremendous amount of money into Ferrum. We've devised a system, and all credit to the governance committee for coming up with this, but we provide a guaranteed minimum allocation on all projects. And by the way, it's oftentimes higher than this, but guaranteed minimum is $500 guaranteed allocation at the base level, which is the 100,000 Ferrum holder tier. Okay. And by the way, you also have to hold 0.1 FRMx to get a guaranteed allocation, 0.1 FRMx. But anyway, 500 guaranteed minimum. How do we make this happen? Well, the whales at the top are kind and generous enough, and they believe in the vision, and they believe in making sure that other people have opportunity to participate, that they essentially take smaller allocations in those instances where it's a small raise. It's made up for, though, when we get big allocations. Say, like Network is a great example. Network is a VR project that we're incubating that is going to take crypto by storm. It is the most advanced, impressive VR technology that I've ever seen in crypto or otherwise. And they work on it 4 years. You can go to their website, you can see a demo, it's incredible. Anyway, they gave us a huge allocation. So the Ferrum community got like big amounts. So it's only an issue when we get small amounts, do people also then get small amounts? But if we get big amounts, then everybody's happy and it works out fine. So yeah, I know it's a challenge, but because people at the top are generous, we're able to solve it.
All right, so next question here from Mibal. What is the difference between 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0 staking? As someone relatively new to the crypto space, it is a bit confusing. Thank you for the AMA.
Thank you for the question. It brings to mind the fact that I think Ferrum, because we've been around 3 years, we built all this technology, the ecosystem's quite large. Some of it is confusing. I'll be the first to admit it. And we are, in fact, in the process of updating the website, making it a lot clearer, making sure the value propositions are captured and people understand exactly what it is we bring in terms of value to the industry. So that's coming out soon, the new website. But the difference between those staking 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, it's quite simple. So the way the Ferrum staking is designed, it's like an event. It's like this 7-day event where you stake your Ferrum during that period, and then it's like staked for a long period. It's for like 3 months, 6 months, whichever pool you staked, and they all have different time frames. So each one of those 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 represents a different event that we held in the past where people staked a bunch of Ferrum. So we'll probably do a 4.0 at some point. We often do staking rounds pretty regularly. So keep a lookout for that. But in the meanwhile, just hold your Ferrum and Unifier wallet and get guaranteed allocations. It's probably the best thing to do with your Ferrum at the moment.
All right. Next question from Frank Powell. Could you explain the main difference between FRM and FRMx? I think FRMx. And why should we buy one or the other?
Well, no, I can't give investment advice, but Ferrum is our core utility token. It powers almost all of our products. It's required, for the incubator. It's used within the staking as a service technology. It's used with the token bridge, all sorts of utilities for the Ferrum token, right? The FRMx token is our governance and kind of our staking token, I would call it, right? So you hold FRMx, you have to hold a certain amount of it, 20 as a matter of fact, to get invited to the governance committee. And the governance committee actually wields tremendous power within Ferrum. They make a lot of decisions. They've added huge value to Ferrum. And I just want to shout out to everyone in the governance committee. Thank you all for everything. But the other thing about FRMx is you need to hold a little bit of it in order to get these guaranteed allocations. And in fact, if you hold say 2 or 4 or 6, you start to get additional amounts of your allocation. So it's kind of like an amplifier of the allocations, but it's also access to the governance committee. And it's also a rewards token. We actually pay out rewards for holding Ferrum, monthly rewards to our core supporters, and that's paid in FRMx. And we launched it in October of 2020 at $20 per FRMx. You can check on CoinGecko. It's probably sitting around 12K right now, and it's been as high as 16. So FRMx is incredible, but you have to make a decision what makes sense for you to want to buy. Right, that's up to you. No investment advice.
All right. Once again, the team will be giving away $1,500 worth of Ferrum tokens to the best questions. So please keep on asking your questions. We probably have about 20 minutes or so left, depending on how many questions we can get through. So here's next question from Michael. This is great content. Please let us know what your plans are for the African market.
Nice. So this is a great one because it actually harkens back to when I first met Ian Bellina, as a matter of fact. Ferrum has already launched a product in Africa, in Nigeria, called First Kuti. This is an exchange and payments application where users can buy and sell cryptocurrencies. They can send fiat currencies like the Naira around the world in basically milliseconds over WhatsApp. And it also has merchant features as well. So this is a product we launched in 2018. And I don't know the last stats on it, but it has many thousands of users. It's already adding value to people's lives. And so we already are in the African market. But frankly, the African market is more of one of our long-term plays. It's a long-term vision. We believe blockchain and cryptocurrencies can add huge value to people's lives in emerging markets. But that takes years, right? Education. There's a lot of still barriers that we need to break down, but we're already in the African market.
All right. Next question from Jamie. How can community members contribute to Ferrum Network?
No, I love that one because we're all about community at Ferrum. If you join our chat, I think you'll be struck by the friendliness, the supportiveness of our community, of our admins. And I think it's largely because, the community gives great things to us, and we give back to the community, right? Like if you look at the way that we handle the pre-sale allocations, giving guaranteed allocations to Ferrum holders. And like in the last two cases, making sure that everyone won an allocation. That's a great example. With the monthly holder rewards, holding Ferrum, supporting Ferrum, and you'll actually get a small amount of FRMx sent to you via link drop to you every month via on your email. Something no other project does. So we're always thinking of innovative ways to give back to the community. We just launched this thing called the Ferrum Stories, where you can write or publish some content about how Ferrum has touched your life or improved your life in some way. We've gotten a lot of amazing submissions about people who've achieved financial freedom through Ferrum, paid off debts, paid off college loans, bought a house. Some guy bought a house from his Ferrum investment and the investment opportunities that we've provided to him. So, we're always looking to give back to community. Community is the heart of everything we do. And I encourage everybody here to join our Telegram and join our Twitter and come say what's up. Come say hi to me. Come say hi to the admins. We'd love to have you.
All right. Awesome. So once again, keep the questions coming. Let's see if there are any other questions you want to pull in. Ian? On your end?
So someone asked, does someone have a strategy for incubating projects from underrepresented regions? I think that's a little bit lower down. I just saw it.
Okay. Yeah.
See that one?
Yes.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say we have a specific strategy for targeting such projects, but we're very region agnostic, meaning we are not opposed to working from people from around the world. In fact, we love it. I enjoy working with people, different cultures, different types of people. So we've incubated projects from India. We've incubated projects from America. We've incubated projects. Now we're incubating one from Turkey, which is one I'm really excited about. It's about to go out of stealth mode, I think probably next week. But no, we look for a project with strong fundamentals, meaning a product with product market fit, genuine token utility, teams that we think can execute at a high level for many years to come. We're not trying to bring pump and dumps. We're not trying to bring just like the here and now projects that are going to be gone in like a couple months.
Now, question: how do you determine if a project has product market fit in crypto?
Some of that's intuition, and in my case, saying we've gotten it right every time. But there are some indicators of whether someone has traction. Like we're incubating a project now called Flourishing Capital. They've built an AI and big data sort of a market analysis tool that already has thousands of users and is generating revenue and works and makes money every day. So we know that they have product market fit. That's kind of an obvious one. But then there's some other ones that are a little bit more, maybe they do, maybe they don't, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I mean, Network is a great example. They have incredible VR technology. I think it's going to do incredibly well, but I mean, we don't know exactly how much adoption they're going to have. How many people want to strap on a VR headset and like go deep into VR? I think there's enough to make it a really good project. But look, there's some element of intuition. I mean, Ian, you analyze projects for a living. Like sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. There's no cookie cutter way to do it. But so far, I'm pretty proud of our track record of finding good projects.
All right. Awesome. Next question. How can we apply for your incubator?
Yeah, so if you have a crypto project that you're interested in receiving support from Ferrum for, the easiest way, frankly, is to reach out to me on Telegram. I'll respond quicker than if by email. I got to be honest, though, we turned down the vast majority of projects. And not because they're bad necessarily, but the way that we handle incubations is extremely hands-on. Like we spend months working with projects in advance of even going out of stealth mode, redoing their website, token economics, pitch decks, making sure their social media, everything is set up, getting content in place, strategies in place, token utilities, set. It's a lot of work. So we only have bandwidth. We have a huge team and they're amazing, but we only have the bandwidth for probably doing 2 or 3 at once. I don't like to do even more than that. So I'm already working too hard as it is. So, it has to be an exceptional project in our view. But if you have what you view to be an exceptional project, meaning you have technology that's actually like launched or near launch, it's in a sector that we know makes sense for crypto, isn't super niche, but is sort of like here and now. Better yet, you have users and already generating revenue. You have a team that has track record of success. We look at those things, and if you have what it takes to go the distance in this business, then we're more than happy to speak with you.
All right, awesome. And yes, this show is live. This is definitely live. It is Tuesday, April 20th, coming to 6 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely live. Okay, let's let me know if you see any other questions you want to ask. Okay, so here's one. Will Ferrum Network be available on Binance in the future? Since I think it means Binance Smart Chain, right? Or the Binance ecosystem. Not the exchange.
In terms of Binance exchanges, I can't really comment on that. Obviously, every project's goal, I think, is probably to get on Binance, Coinbase, etc. So, it's our obviously our long-term goal is to reach more people, and Binance is incredible, and that's one way to do it. So we're obviously, that is long-term what we wish to do. No guarantees, of course. It's not an easy thing to achieve. In terms of Binance Smart Chain, I'm glad you mentioned that. So you get an exclusive here, Ian, for your community, but Ferrum will be launching a BSC version of our token in the pretty near future. We're going to have the Binance Smart Chain bridge so that people can move their assets between the chains. There's going to be a utility for the token on BSC. And this is extremely important because I just went to do a swap today on Uniswap. $100. $100 in gas for a swap. Uniswap in these conditions is a whale's playground. That's it. Average people can't really operate there. So we need to find a solution for our community. Obviously, we're listed on KuCoin, we're listed on BitMax, we're listed on other exchanges that don't have the crazy ETH gas fees. But people want a decentralized exchange. They want Pancake Swap, and we got to give the people what they want. So we will be migrating some of our ecosystem over to Binance Smart Chain in the pretty near future.
All right, awesome. Appreciate that. Okay. Okay, so let's take a few more questions, then we'll wrap things up.
I see it going. What are the top 3 projects that we are most proud of bringing to market? I think probably through our incubator, right?
Yes, yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, that's a tough one because I hate it's like asking a parent to choose favorites. But one project that immediately comes to mind is Pools. Big shout out to the Pools team, amazing team who, when we met them, were relatively unknown and kind of raw around the edges. But we saw in them tremendous potential, and they have grown into an incredible launch pad in and of themselves. Our investors who got into the private sale round did over 100x returns, so that was awesome. But they've become such an excellent launch pad and have a great product that we actually now outsource a lot of our incubated projects when they need to do the IDO on the launch pad. We send it over to Pools because they do a great job. And Guy and Liam are excellent leaders, so I'm really proud of them. And I'm happy that we took a risk. No one wanted to work with them. No one wanted to incubate them, whatever. I said, you know what? No, this team has what it takes to go the distance. And we were right. And it feels good to be right sometimes. So really proud of Pools. Let me think other great ones. Bondly, definitely as our first incubated projects we did along with DuckDAO. There was a lot of growing pains. Like we had not done an incubation before, and Bondly was pretty accepting of that fact. And Brandon's a close friend of mine from New York. He's the founder, great guy, and they embody what I view to be one of the most critical aspects of how do you be successful in this industry. They were able to read the market, and they were able to pivot and capture a massive opportunity. So they were when we first incubated them, not really into the NFT thing, but they realized, wait, our core product works with NFTs, and then the NFT hype came and they captured it, and now they're a leader in the world of NFTs with the NFT Launchpad, massive NFT ecosystem, and they've really done a tremendous job over there. So Bondly definitely, and I would say the other one that I'm really super proud of is Eureka. Harsh is a really close friend of mine who didn't know much about crypto when we first met, maybe around a year ago. He was a Ferrum investor. He had an idea for validating NFTs, which is a big problem that's no one's really solving for yet. And even without a public sale, without a lot of hype, just really focus on fundamentals and using their product to generate partnerships and bring on big clients. They did like a 60, 70x out of the gate, and they're still holding strong, and they have a ton coming. So I'm super proud of Eureka too. But all the projects we incubate have been incredible. Those three come to mind.
All right, awesome. So there was one other question I wanted to pull up here. Let me see if I can find it. Just give me a few seconds. And for those who are just joining, this is Ian Friend, one of the co-founders of Ferrum Network. Their website is FRMnetwork. Sorry, Ferrum.network is their website. So if you want to learn more about the project there. Looks like the questions got lost in the... Okay, so here it is. Here's a question from ASV. Are you also in the NFT game?
Oh, yeah. So we definitely are. But the way that we view NFTs vis-a-vis the Ferrum ecosystem is that everything we do has to relate back to the core businesses, staking as a service, incubator, anti-bot, right? And so we have launched we launched a Genesis NFT called the FRMx, which got you basically tokens from projects that we incubate. That was sort of like level 1. But we're about to launch level 2. Well, it's even beyond level 2. It's on the next level of incredibleness with an entire collectible card game, which essentially ties together all the different projects that we incubate and provides the holders of these NFTs, which by the way are beautiful, incredible pieces of art in and of themselves, access and allocations into these projects, which and also in turn provide the opportunity to win a huge amount of money in a lottery. Tokens being contributed from the projects that we incubate go into a lottery bucket, and holders of the NFT have an opportunity to win what I believe the total sum in that lottery sort of basket of tokens is going to one day exceed $1 million. And people are going to have the opportunity to win basically a percentage of that every launch that we do, every incubator project launch that we do, there'll be another winner of this huge basically stack of money. So it's next level. Shout out to Carlos, who's our NFT genius on the team, came up with this whole system. Everyone's bought in. All these other all projects are buying in. It's going to be incredible. So we're about to launch that. The hype video comes out very soon. Another piece of sneak peek information. We're very much in NFTs, but it's all related to the incubator and the core businesses.
Okay, so here's the one question from Steve. Where can I get a Ferrum t-shirt?
Oh, Ferrum t-shirt. Well, aside from coming over to my house and getting this one off me, we have a merch store. Actually, I think it's on the website. We just came out with it. So you can get Ferrum t-shirt, you can get Ferrum sweatshirt, you can get the Ferrum. There's multiple versions of Ferrum t-shirt. It's awesome. It's done in partnership with the project or NFT sort of business that we helped launch with their NFT called Vapor 95. Shout out to those guys. So you can get Ferrum merch on the store, and Ferrum merch is also sort of incorporated with our NFTs. If you hold the NFT, one of the NFTs, you get a free Ferrum t-shirt too.
All right, awesome. Okay, let's see if any other questions here. This is kind of off topic maybe. How do you compare ADA versus Ferrum?
Oh, well, I mean, ADA is a top 3 or 4 project in crypto, right? They have a huge ecosystem. the founder of Ethereum is the founder of ADA. So, we got to keep some things in perspective. That said, I think there are some comparables. What ADA I think has done successfully is market itself tremendously well. I mean, I don't think their blockchain even exists, and yet they're top 3. So, I mean, that's a little curious, but the reason why that is because they have a front man, Charles Hoskinson, who's really great at promoting the project. They also have a lot of people in their ecosystem, a lot of companies using their tech or their future tech. They incubate projects, right? So there's a lot of comparables, but Ferrum's still a small cap compared to, we're 80 million, they're billions. So it's a little bit of a different ball game, but I respect the question anyway.
All right, so next question from Iqbal. How much did Ferrum score in token metrics? Good question. So let me pull that up here. So this is my screen. This is the current yearly rating on Ferrum Network. So I think in Q1, when you guys were really rallying, that's when you guys were one of the highest rated projects in token metrics. Then when the correction came, obviously most of the tokens kind of went down. But right now it's basically it's been climbing over a month ago. Right now it's about a 75 as of yesterday. Now we do plan to make changes to the quant grade, but from the trading indicator, it's basically been bullish on Ferrum since 4 cents, right? So, and it's still bullish. Now, if we go to the high frequency, this one I've not looked at, so don't quote me on this. Okay, this is more for people who are day trading or doing very quick trading. But for me, I really look more at the low frequency strategy, right? So that one's still bullish for anybody who's trading Ferrum. But obviously not financial advice or do your own research. Just kind of wanted to give you guys input in terms of what the platform says, right? And for those who are brand new, we highly recommend you check out the platform. Go to tokenmetrics.com and check it out. Become a smarter investor and trader. Plus, there was one other question here. I'll kind of lump those two questions together. Someone was asking if I'm currently invested. Currently, I am not invested in Ferrum Network. Now, I believe parts of our entities have been in Ferrum Network for the past few months, probably since last year, right? But if you're not really using the indices, I'll just use the trading strategies and just use that if you're trying to trade or invest in Ferrum Network, but not financial advice as usual. Okay, we're getting to top of the hour. Anything else you want to cover we haven't covered yet, Ian?
Well, I just want to point out that that Ferrum Network call that you made back when it was 4 cents, that proved to be spot on. So, whether that is your system or other factors, I'll leave that for the viewers to decide. But that was an excellent call. I mean, what happened since then? Basically, BitBoy came on as advisor, so we got tremendous marketing push.
Oh, BitBoy, nice. Yeah, he's also our biggest affiliate too.
Yeah. So, and BitBoy even pointed that out in one of the first Ferrum videos that he did about us. But really, the incubator and our sort of ancillary tech services really exploded. So the utility for the Ferrum token and the fact that you hold it, you get access to seed rounds, oftentimes the seed rounds of projects that do 100x, 50x, 70x. By the way, not all of them perform that well, but 4 or 5 have. And that's guaranteed. It's like, it's not some first come, first serve. You sit in your computer, oh my God, I missed it. It's like literally everybody in the Ferrum community gets in. So the Ferrum community is sitting pretty. They've done very well, and I'm quite happy for that. And that's one reason why the Ferrum Stories thing was so awesome. Literally, people have bought homes, bought mansions. I'm serious. You guys show me. It's like I bought this using the money that I made from Ferrum and the incubator projects.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, more questions are coming in, so let's keep on asking away, if you don't mind. Krupe is asking, what was your proudest moment on your journey with Ferrum Network?
Oh man, that's a tough one. There's been so many awesome moments. I don't know. I'm really happy with where we're at now. The Ferrum team has recently grown. We've brought on incredible individuals and team members who are leading whole divisions. It's now a 25-person operation or more with 4 or 5 divisions. So you have the staking division, NFT division, anti-bot division, incubator division, and there's some crossover between them. But the fact that we've been able to grow this business from in the bear market, no one would even invest. And it was a struggle for years, for like 1 or 2 years was an absolute struggle. And financially it was tough. That was, a big challenge for me personally. And then now having grown it into what it is, with still so much more to come. I can't say there's one moment. It's like the whole journey, right, has been incredible. But shout out to everyone who's been involved, the team, community, the governance committee. Everyone's played a huge role in it. So I'm just one small piece of this huge machine. But yeah, it's been awesome.
Okay, we got a super chat here. Wow, 50 euros. Okay, from Alpha Mantis. Ian is one of my stars and Scottish. I'm sending this for you too, to have a pint of Irish or Scottish lager. I also want to be involved. All right. I mean, I don't really drink lager. I do like Scotch though, so maybe that. But thank you, Alpha Mantis.
I'll have a beer with you. I just got to fly out to Scotland.
All right. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, Thomas is just saying he's here because of BitBoy and the Pro member. That's what's up. Great to have you on board. Let's see here. Any of the last questions before we wrap things up? I think, yeah, let's take one last question. Somebody had basically, yeah, David, there we go. Where do you think Ferrum will be in the next 5 years?
It's tough to say. I don't have a crystal ball, but we'll definitely still be here, adding value to this industry. I think if you look at our growth trajectory, where we've been, where we're at now, and everything that we have in terms of our technology, our community, the incubator, the services we provide, the value that we bring to those in our network, I think it's fair to say this is going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to pick up steam. We have an initiative, or we had an initiative called Iron Mountain, where this is it was a big marketing campaign leading up to the KuCoin listing, and the sort of joke amongst the governance committee was we're climbing the Iron Mountain to get into the 100 top 100 cryptos. That's our goal. We're going to continue working hard, bringing value every day to our investors, our community, until we reach that, and we're going to keep going, and then we're going to keep going. So I don't know where we're going to be in 5 years, but we'll still be here in this industry and doing the best we can for folks.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Those were great questions. Once again, as we mentioned, the team from Ferrum Network has been kind enough to basically tell us that they would give $1,500 to the best questions, right? So they'll handle all the logistics of that. Stay tuned. But if you ask your question, and if they pick it, you'll be greatly rewarded. With that being said, if you enjoyed this live stream, this interview, please like, subscribe, share this with your friends, put on alerts, tell a friend to tell a friend that crypto is the future of money. And as we like to say, the moon is not the limit to the moon and beyond. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Ian. Great having you on.
Thanks, Ian. I'll see you soon.